Happy New Year, geeks and gamers. I hope you all had a good time with your family over the holidays and are ready to get back to the sorrow and pain that is winter. Or a delightful summer if you're in Australia.
Yeah, wrecked.
This month is pretty light on new releases, but we do have a few which might be worth having a look at. In 2014, this throwback beat-em-up based on the Toronto indie scene Fairy Tale was delisted from PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. Ubisoft is finally bringing the game back from licensing hell, so fans of Scott Pilgrim have something to celebrate this month. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the Game Complete Edition, is a side-scrolling beat-em-up in the style of Final Fight, Streets of Rage, or that old Simpsons arcade game, and it's pretty solid. It's not going to blow your mind or anything, but if you've ever wanted to fight your way through the mean streets of Toronto to win your love's heart, it'll be worth checking out. The original comics and the Edgar Wright movie are also worth looking into if you haven't seen them. They're really silly but are hilarious and unique. But I grew up in Toronto, so there may be a bit of nostalgia baked into that recommendation.
The world of assassination is on the brink. All because of one man. As you take on the role of Agent 47, his deadly abilities, tools, and instincts are at your fingertips.
The formerly episodic Hitman revival is hitting its third entry, and this time it's all coming out as one complete game. Hitman is an interesting franchise, and if you take the time to understand the mechanics and learn its hook, you can spend hours upon hours replaying missions experimenting with all of their possibilities. Going in guns blazing is never the best idea, nor is it the most entertaining, because IO Interactive is great at giving the player countless creative options, many of which can make your kill look like an accident. Hitman 3 is an Epic exclusive on PC, which was a bit of a dick move as the first two are on Steam and that's absolutely where most of the PC players of this franchise are. But it's also releasing on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, as well as Stadia and Nintendo Switch, though the Nintendo Switch version is a stream version, so it'll probably play similarly to the Stadia version and will require a constant and probably pretty fast internet connection. I finished Yakuza Like a Dragon, aka Yakuza 7, and while my review is still in progress, I will say that the story was truly incredible. That being said, I've got a 4 mainline game gap in my lore knowledge as I've only ever played the PC ports of the series. Yakuza 0 and the remakes of Yakuza 1 and 2 have been on PC and Xbox for a while, but 3 through 6 have been exclusive to the PlayStation platforms. On January 28th, Xbox and PC players will get a chance to play Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 for one price in the form of the Yakuza Collection. The downside is that unlike Yakuza Kiwami and Kiwami 2, which are full-blown remakes of the original PS2 games, in the engines used for Yakuza 0 and Yakuza 6 respectively, the games in Yakuza Collection are upscaled remasters of the PS3 originals. Because of this, aspects of them will feel dated compared to the very smooth and polished experiences you'll find in the games currently available on Xbox and PC. This same collection came out on PS4 last year, and Yakuza 6 will remain MIA on Xbox and PC until March, but it's great to see the main series branching out from PlayStation so more people can experience Yakuza's wacky, badass world. These 3 titles will also be joining Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 on Game Pass, and if you're new to the series, I'd recommend starting with Yakuza 0. Like a Dragon is a good starting point as well, but it's quite different from the others being a turn-based RPG, so from a gameplay standpoint, it's less representative of the others in the series, which are all 3D beat-em-ups. I can say for sure though that every single one I've played so far has had awesome stories, so if you're into gaming for narratives, Yakuza is a really good series to check out if you've never tried it.
I've spent my whole life looking beyond the edges of our reality. Even as a child, I saw things that would break a grown man. But that thing...
The Medium is an interesting looking horror game which looks like it may be the fix Silent Hill fans have been looking for in the years since Konami started making terrible decisions. Funny enough, The Medium has been in various stages of development since long before then, as it was originally intended to be an Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 title. Considering the game's hook, it's not a huge surprise that the tech wasn't where it needed to be for this game at that time. You control the protagonist Marianne through both the real world as well as the spirit realm. At certain times, the game will divide into split screen, which will see you controlling both versions of Marianne simultaneously, which might have been a bit much for the 360 and PS3. The game uses fixed camera angles, which will help with that mechanic, and that is a bold move for a 2021 game, but it will certainly help emphasize the old-school Silent Hill influences, which are further reinforced by having Akira Yamaoka composing the score for the Spirit Realm segments. The medium does appear to be much more focused on puzzle solving than combat from what I've seen, so maybe the fixed camera angles won't really hurt the gameplay. The medium is launching on January 28th on the Xbox Series consoles and Steam, as well as Xbox Game Pass. Shovel Knight developer Yacht Club Games is publishing this Ode to Ninja Gaiden from Finnish developer Mechanical Head Studios, and it's looking pretty awesome. The art style is nothing new for a modern indie game, as it's using that 8-bit but better style we've seen in the Curse of the Moon games, The Messenger, and even Shovel Knight itself, but it appears to be used very well here. The sprites are detailed, the animations are fluid, and the action appears to be fast and smooth. While I haven't played the game myself and can't say for sure, I've played the living hell out of Shovel Knight, and with Yacht Club Games supporting them as publisher, the chances are good that Cyber Shadow will hit a similar standard of quality. And failing that, it's a game about a cyborg ninja, so it's automatically at least worth looking into when it launches on January 26th for Steam, GOG, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Like I said, it's a bit of a lean month, but as we're now almost a year into the pandemic, there's a lot of games which will have unfortunately had to go through their most important development months while readjusting to remote work setups or whatever their studios have set up for working in an infection-controlled environment. As a result, the first few months of the year especially are probably going to be pretty light on huge-budget, high-profile releases. The good news is there's going to be more room in the spotlight for smaller, interesting-looking indie titles like Cyber Shadow, or time to catch up on the great games you may have missed in previous years. It's never too late to play Quake 2.